So this brings the question about women being upon the battlefield and in the army of the Muslims. Is this something which is legislated? Shaykh al-Fawzaan, he spoke about this issue, and he was asked this question, that what is the ruling of tajneed al-mar'a fil jaysh, of enlisting the women in the Muslim army? Is this from imitating the Jews and the Christians? He said, alayhi rahmatullah wa hafidhahullah, that the jawab, la yajuz tajneed al-mar'a fil jaysh. It's not permissible to enlist the women in the army. It's not permissible to enlist the women in the army. He said for several reasons. Firstly, al-mar'a laysat min ahl al-jihad. The woman is not from the people of jihad. She is not from the people of jihad. Now, as the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, jihadukun al-hajj. That your jihad is hajj. Your jihad for the women is hajj. Now, because they are not from the women who do physical fighting. It's not the asl. Secondly, he said, وَهَذَا تَكْلِيفْ لَهَا. This is placing upon her a responsibility that she can't bear. Likewise, he said, it is subjecting her to fitna and evil. The kuffar, they're wicked. They're despicable. If they get control of our women, what are they going to do to them? We know. He said, likewise, it is ikhraj laha and unuthatiha. It is taking her out of her natural state of femininity. He said, and so making her responsible for work of men is something which is not permissible. And this is from the action of the kuffar. It is not from the actions of the Muslims. He said the Muslims do not enlist their women in the army. He said that this is from the action of the kuffar, or from the action of the Arab who are following the path of the kuffar, from the communists and other than them, and they are not to be used as an evidence. End of the speech of Shaykh al-Fawzaan. So how do we explain Ammara? And there were a few other sahabiyat that participated in battle as well. How do we explain this? Shaykh Jamal al-Harathi, he mentioned that their role upon the battlefield was treating the wounded. They were treating the wounded. They were like nurses. They would treat the wounded. And likewise, they will give them water, and they will provide food for them. And they were not from those who were to participate in the fighting. This was not the intention. Likewise, them going out on the battlefield, it was to further encourage the men to fight harder. When the men, they would see their women folk, they can't let anybody get close to anywhere near them. So it would encourage them to fight harder. Likewise, he mentioned that the number of women that were known to participate in fighting could be counted upon one hand. It was a very small number. So they would go out with this intent, but if fighting was to come to them, they could protect themselves. They could protect themselves, and they were ready to do so. And them going out upon the battlefield was not due to the fact that the Messenger of Allah commanded them with that, or encouraged that, or enlisted them in the army, but rather they would go out, as I mentioned, to do these duties and to serve these in these particular capacities. And likewise, they would go out along with their maharim. So the ones that went out, like Ammara, she had her husband with her, her sons along with her, and they would go out like this. Now,